Well, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Chris, your real estate problem solver for Middle Georgia. Now, in this video, we're going to go over the housing market stats for just Middle Georgia and the Warner Robins area. How many houses have sold, what's currently going on in just the Middle Georgia area. So stay tuned and we'll get right into it. Now, this is a series that we wanted to go ahead and get started with because we've had a lot of people that are starting to see this shift in the market. Interest rates have doubled and tripled over the last 6-8 months. Prices are still kind of climbing, but starting to level off. Number of houses sold have changed. So people are getting a little antsy and are starting to ask questions. So we're going to bring this market report to you every month, and make comments below in the bottom and let me know what you think about this. What we would like to try to do is just a basic report on a monthly basis, and then at the end of each business quarter, being March, June, October, and December, do a Middle Georgia whole market. But we're going to keep with the Middle Georgia area, the Georgia local area, so you've got a better idea of what's actually happening with your house in your market. So, of course, my crystal ball is cloudy, as most people's are. So we're giving you the numbers based on what's already happened, and based on what has happened in the past, we can usually give a decent speculation on what looks like it's getting ready to happen in the future. Now, as it stands right now, of course, we've got kind of in limbo. A lot of things are changing. So we've got just as many people on one side of the fence saying everything's fine, the market's going to keep climbing, interest rates are going to drop a little bit, housing prices are going to keep on climbing, as we do on the other side of the fence that are saying, oh, the sky's falling and doomsday is coming. 2008 all over again. So which way are you going to be? Make a comment below down and tell us what you think is getting ready to happen over the next 6, 8, 10 months. So as I was saying, the current active number of listings at the end of December was around 929 houses. Now, at the end of January, we're sitting at around 812 houses. These are rough numbers. These are not exact pinpoint. So please don't be too overly critical. I'm getting my information from two different MLSs, and we have about 4 MLSs in the area. So all the information can kind of get come from different directions and end up with a little bit different. So your results may be different than mine. This is the information that I've got available to me. So back to what I was saying, the current number of listings at the end of December was actually higher than what we've currently got now. Now, on the other hand, the new listings that came on the market through December was only about 200 houses. And the number of new listings that have come on the market in the month of January went all the way up to 436 houses. So there's more people that are putting their houses on the market, and more listings that are getting put out there. Now let's jump to the other side of that equation and see how many houses actually sold in the month. So at the end of December, we only had like 293 houses that sold in the month of December. So that's why our inventory was starting to climb. Well, this month we've had 467 houses that have sold in the month of January. So while we've had more listings, we've also had more sales. So we've actually put our inventory back down to the 800 that I mentioned before. So we've got more listings, but we've also got more sales. Now, another point that needs to be brought up is the fact that the number of sales this month is actually pretty typical for Middle Georgia, the Warner Robins area. But with 400 range sales per month being the average, like I said, we've only got around 800 houses on the market currently, which means we only have 2 months worth of inventory in the Middle Georgia area, and that's extremely low. So it wouldn't take very much at all for this to turn into a major um, seller's market, because we've got plenty of buyers, but we still got a low inventory. So that could be very advantageous for anybody that's interested in selling their house in the near immediate future. All right, so now at the month of January 2024, what is our median price range? Now, a median price range means is if you take all the numbers across the board and divide by that number of items, then you get an average. Median price range is the average of the highest concentration of the most common price point. Through the listings that I've been researching, we've got houses everywhere from 55,000 all the way up to 2 million. So in this instance, we have a high concentration of houses between 250 and $300,000. At the end of December, we were sitting around 280,000. Into January, we're still sitting around 280,000.
Huh?
Now that is the median price, which means the highest concentration average priced houses that are selling are around 280. But like I said before, we've got houses in Warner Robins everywhere from 55,000 all the way up to $2 million. So we've still got a pretty good variety. Now, how long is it taking these houses to sell? That's going to be the real trick. Last month, in the month of December, it took an average of 42 days for these houses to go under contract. This month is taking 44 days. So there's a slight uptick in the number of days it takes for these houses to go under contract. Okay, so what does that mean? We've got more houses going on the market. We've also got more houses getting sold this month, but it's taking just as long for these houses to get under contract and get sold. Now, if you're a seller, depending on how fast you need to get your house sold, that could be an indication that the current houses on the market that are similar to yours are probably just a little bit overpriced. People are wanting to wait, they're wanting to hold off. It's taking a little bit longer to entice buyers to come in and put an offer on the house. Partially because of the price, partially because the interest rates and the mortgage companies are still having new regulations and having some change arounds in the first of the year. So it might be a little bit harder for people to get approved for a loan. But my guess, my opinion, is going to be leaning more towards the side that people are starting to push for more bang for the buck, basically. What was available at $300,000 earlier last year or late last year, now they're wanting to try to get that same house for 290, maybe 280. And they're willing to wait for it if they have to. So the days on market is starting to go up. They're kind of holding off a little bit longer before they put on an offer. Now, another aspect of that equation for the days on market is the number of price changes that have happened in the month of December. 153. January, it's gone up to 233. So that means more people are having to, or deciding to, after their house sits on the market for a little while, they're changing their price. Now, changing can go up or down. And from what I saw in our listings, probably about 75 to 80% of them are dropping the price on their house. 25% of them are actually raising their price. Now, that could mean anything. That could mean there was a mistake in the listing. That could mean that they changed out the carpet and painted the walls, and now they want a little bit more money for their house. They could have added a new roof. Some people will raise the price if they offer owner financing. So it could be any number of reasons, but a change in price just means it could go up or down. And at the current moment, about 75% of what I saw was people dropping their price from their original listing price. So that's another indication that the houses are staying on the market a little bit longer than people like, so they're willing to drop the price, and buyers are willing to sit around and wait until that happens. So that's another indication that the market is kind of either leveling off or there might be some signs of a correction. Now, the next part of this report we're going to talk about, and then I'll let y'all go, is going to be expired listings. Now, what this is when a house is, when an agent puts a house on the market and they're listing the house, the contract gives them a certain amount of time, whether it be a month or 2 months, 6 months, 10 months, but there's a certain amount of time before that listing has to be put on the market and sold. And if it doesn't sell, or if the seller changes their mind, then the contract will expire if it doesn't get sold in the time frame that's allowed. Now, in the month of December, the expired listings was only 41. Now, at the end of January, expired listings for this month has gone up to 67. So that means that more houses have been taken out of contract and off the market because they did not sell. And that's another indication that possibly these houses may have been put on the market at too high of a price, and or buyers are just not willing to pay that price, or they're waiting for the houses to get adjusted down to something that they're more willing to pay. So that's the last indicator that we've got for this report today. I hope this information helps you. And of course, if you've got any questions, make sure to give me a call, 478-273-0062, or you can go to our website at realestateproblemsolver.com. I'm Chris, your real estate problem solver, and I'll talk to you on the next one.